Gonna need a vacation from our vacation. Who's going back to work on Monday? I'm sorry. I just raised my hand, I'm not going back to work tomorrow. I go back on Friday. It's all good. Oh, where do I go back to work? Where am I? I fly back to Orlando. We fly back to Orlando tonight. He goes back to Disney. I have 3 days off, and then I go to California to open a new show at Legoland in San Diego. And then I go home for a day, and then I go to South Africa for Comic-Con Africa. Which if you ever happen to be in Africa and you want a pass, just give me a call. I'll get you a pass. It's only like $10 for a pass there, but it's the exchange rate. Works in our favor. Do me a favor right now, turn to somebody that you don't know and tell them your favorite Dragon Ball Z character. Go.
My favorite character is Goku. My favorite character is Goku.
And explain why it's Goku.
Because Sean Schemmel is awesome. And Christopher Sabat rocks too.
Before we get started, do me a huge favor, take a look at these screens, because we got a word from our sponsors. Here we go.
Whatever happened to Chucky?
I hate that doll.
When do we get to start standing here?
Glenda.
Oh, Tiffany. Tell her what's coming to her. It's gonna come for a second. It's just a doll. Wanna pray?
Dear God, whatever down payment was made before I was born, I want a refund.
I believe everyone deserves a refund.
Whoa.
Reggie, you're a vampire now.
What?
Nothing changes until you feed monsters like you. Don't belong here.
Reggie will not survive the night.
I want to drink your blood. Excuse me?
I'll pay you $25.
You know where we are? We're gonna find a way back home together.
More sinkholes are coming. You need to tell me what you know.
The answer is inside that building.
Does that mean there's a way out of here?
I just want my family back.
All right, so we're just about ready to get started here. We got two microphones. We got a microphone over there, a microphone over there. You already lined up. You already know what to do. Stand up, ask your question. We'll try to get through as many as possible. Are y'all ready to get started? Yes or yes?
Yeah!
All right, please do me a huge favor. Put your hands together and make some noise for your main stage host. Give it up for Steph Strickland.
Happy Sunday! I love this. How are you doing, Austin Dave? Thank you so much for being here. Oh, you did it! I asked for Beastie Boys. Couldn't help myself, had to. So they did it for me. Thank you guys, thank you guys. I am very excited right now, and I'm so thrilled to see you guys. This whole audience, this whole weekend has been really amazing. It's been a while since we've been able to get together at this sort of capacity. So you guys, it's my treat right now to bring to the stage Mr. Christopher Sabat and Sean Schemmel. Come on! Welcome back. I have not worked with you here in this city in a while, and I'm so thrilled to see you again, my friend.
Well, thank you. It's good to see you too. It's you are such a wonderful host.
You are.
Because you have a smile that you can see from the back of the room. Like,
My
That's
parents
true.
paid a lot of money for this, so there's a lot of races going on in there. And
who's
it
your
was,
tooth person?
no joke. It's nice to see you too. You and I worked together in Washington, D.C., and it was just an absolute treat. So you guys are really in for a super fun panel right
Thank
now.
you.
Yep.
By the way, can I ask the house for more monitoring on our, because I can barely hear you. I think I hear you, but if I could have a little bit on the monitors and there we go. Thank you.
Is that working?
Yes,
Is
that's
that
better.
good?
You all are lucky that you're seeing me here, because when I attempted to go to AwesomeCon in DC this year, the airlines had another plan for me. They decided, no, there's not going to be a flight for you. So
I was trying to get to Canada for an air show, and I must have visited 5 cities before I made it to my destination, and the fact that I had all carry-on made me so.
Wait, you're going to go to a show where they pay to see air? Like an air show?
Yeah, just look in the sky.
Sky.
I pay a lot of money for it.
I stole that from Stephen Wright, but
It's so great. I do have to ask you guys, what is it like being a part of so many people's experience with the show? I mean, you really are the voice for generations, plural.
yeah, it's surreal. Before we start, I want to thank each and everybody in the audience for going to see the new Dragon Ball movie, because everybody asked.
And now that he said that, can I get a show of hands of people who haven't seen the movie yet?
Yeah, and if you're get the hell out of here.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding. You really should try. Like, if you don't see it in the theater, you're really missing out. It's such an amazing experience. And I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to call you guys out for not seeing the movie.
It's all right. We know you'll see it eventually.
I was just gonna try and do my pitch again to go, like, if you haven't seen it, definitely could try and see it in the theater.
Well, it's shot in such a cinematic manner. It's really great on the big screen, so you got to see it there. I mean, you watch on DVD when it comes out or whatever, or streaming, but big screen's the place to do
But
it.
you should at least see it once in the theater. It's so good.
Yeah, totally.
Do you guys have an opportunity, and I don't know the answer to this, do you guys get a chance to hang out together outside of conventions, or is this really a chance for you guys?
Well, when I lived in Texas, we did, but Chris and I socialize either via texting or when we see each other in person. And so that's when we, pick
We
up on our
communicate
friendship.
a lot. Like,
We do.
We are good friends.
Yeah.
We're practically family members at this point.
No joke.
It's the best.
I've spent more time on the phone with Sean than I've spent with any single person in my family.
That's my fault. Because I talk a lot.
Sean does talk a lot, but I like to hear from Sean, so it's good. It's mutually beneficial.
Who texts more?
I do. I send voice. I love voice recordings. I hate texting, and I'm constantly sending voice recording to all my friends.
Oh, yeah.
And they're usually loaded with comedy I send at like midnight. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was a funny idea. Okay.
And Sean's like, why didn't you respond to it? I'm like, because you sent it when I was lost.
Yeah.
And my kids wake me up at 6:30. So, yeah, Sean leaves such long voicemail messages for me, but his voicemail messages are so much like conversations with him that I'll forget that it's a voicemail, and I'll go, oh no, Sean, I don't think that's. Oh wait, never mind. I'm still talking. That's just a message.
I am so glad I asked.
I think it's because I'm like, well, my comedy's lost if you can't hear the tone of my voice. So I'm sending you funny stuff, and I happen to think it's all great. So, it's not always.
I have to schedule a half hour in my day just to kind of get through all the messages. Like, I'm kidding.
No, you're not the only person who tells me this. I do it to everybody. I feel terrible about it, but I don't care.
Is your house like the hyperbolic time chamber? Because I don't know how you have time to do.
That's why it's at midnight. I was like, okay, everybody's asleep. Here's my funny idea. I'm also up late playing Destiny. Okay.
That's so good.
Have you guys seen Sean Games and stuff on Twitter?
Oh yeah. because they didn't watch Dragon Ball. So there was like Kamiyamama and Kamehameha. So I played Fortnite with Zach and I streamed it, and then I did my own version of it as Goku. And then it went viral, so I was like really surprised, but it was fun as hell.
How is that? So you're still doing it pretty regularly? Because
I'm not a terrible regular streamer because I'm so busy on the convention circuit, but you know, it's once here and there, once a month, a couple times in a week sometimes. I'm trying to get on a more regular schedule because it is a lot of fun, you know. And I'm a gamer, so it's fun.
How much of your personalities contributed to the characters? I mean, really across all the different work you've done, because it's not just Dragon Ball Z, you've done a lot.
I'm in. I've been a little lucky as the voice director for all these years to be able to inject some of my own personality into the show occasionally when I think there's like kind of missed opportunities or something that could be like phrased a little different to make it either funnier or more interesting or something. There was a time in Dragon Ball Super where it was just kind of a really boring scene between Bulma and Vegeta. She's like, "Come on, Vegeta, come to the party," and his answer was like, "I don't want to go to the party," or something. It was like really basic answer, and I changed it to, "Yeah, let's go see Yamcha," because there's this whole concept I have in my brain of like how irritated Vegeta must secretly be at Yamcha, because it's Bulma's ex-boyfriend, and he still hangs out at the house all the time. It seems like finally in Super he got his own apartment.
But it's sad.
It's really so sad.
You're talking about the movie, right? Yeah.
No, oh, actually, it's Dragon Ball Super, the series. He has his own apartment, right? They may have shown it in one of the movies, but it's like, he has the penthouse, it's like the 4th floor, and it seems like a large building from the outside, but on the inside he's got like a single bed and one table that's small that has a vase of flowers on it, but one chair. Like he's not having
anybody over.
Visitors, yeah. And then it kind of works into my theory that Poir, his cat, isn't real. Actually, I take that back. Poir the cat is real, but no one else can hear Poir talk except for Yamcha, and I think he's making it up. I believe that Chaozu is not real at all, and that Tien just like says, "I gotta go save Chaozu," and everyone's like, "Sure, okay."
Well, you do the same thing in the movie because Piccolo goes to pick up Pan, and you have Piccolo refer to her teacher as Janet, and everybody's making memes out of it now, but it makes perfect sense. It's totally canon, because if Piccolo's constantly being put on babysitting duty, he's gonna have to know the teachers before he picks up the kids from school.
And I just had this weird fantasy in my mind as well. I mean, I wasn't not writing fan fiction about it, but like I do, but I certainly think that like I have this like thought that maybe he goes to like play board games with her or something occasionally, and he's just like grumpy, but he's still playing it, like Roy Kent in Ted Lasso or something.
Yeah.
So when you approach a character, and I am coming at your questions, you guys are so patient, I appreciate it. When you approach a character, how many voice iterations do you go through before you find it? I mean, is it just right away?
In my head, about 1,000, and then
at midnight texting your friends. What do you guys think about
but
that?
it depends on the copy, and it depends on, you know, if they give you very specific copy and very specific description with even a visual image, you can usually hone in on a voice pretty fast. But if it's real vague, you might go through a lot of voices or a lot of choices before you settle in on what you're going to audition with, you know? And then, it kind of sucks because I hate to complain about it, but when I first started my career, you were always auditioning in front of a director. But since the advent of MP3s and online and internet, they just expect you to direct yourself at home and send in auditions, and everybody does it. And I think it's a tragedy to the art form, because that's where I do my best work I don't like that it's that way at all, you know, and I wish that every audition you were reading with the director, because I got some of my best roles by talking with the director during my audition, working something out, and then settling in on it, and then I'd win, you know. And now it's much more challenging to self-direct yourself, you know. And I can do it, and everybody has to do it, but it becomes problematic because if a bunch of voices pop into your head, you don't have anybody to call to go, "So I got some questions about this," and every time I write my agent, I go, "Do we have any more data on this thing?" "No, that's it, sorry." So it's a little frustrating, but there is some creative freedom with it, you know, there is.
It's actually created a problem with me where, as a voiceover person, you'll sometimes have to do 20 auditions in a week, and it takes hours and hours to do them.
Oh yeah.
So what I end up doing is just going like, all right, what's my gut feeling on this? And I just throw it out there and just do it, and kind of, because it's all kind of a gamble anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wonder, like, how far down on the list am I going to be when whoever is reviewing these auditions has them up in a finder window just pressing the down arrow.
Yeah.
And as a director, I've done this before, where you're just like, Simi, go.
Because you can hear right away. I've done the same thing. Right away, if the first tone of the voice, I'm like, that's not the voice I'm looking for. That's not the voice I'm looking for. And then when I can't find, then I'll go back through and listen to everything in more detail just to make sure I'm right. But you're right, Chris. You can just go through and go, like, no.
Yeah.
It's. Well, you do it long enough, you get a really good sense of,
Plus, you kind of have, like, I direct in a sort of musical, or at least I cast in kind of a musical way. I like all the cast members to have like a sound as if they're in a choir.
Oh, it's great. He's a master at it. It's great.
I'm not. Well, that's very kind of you. But I just like it to where like people are listening to it from another room. They actually can recognize every character, and so some people tend to forget that, like, wow, those two people sound very similar.
Yeah,
it annoys me. So
yeah.
I didn't realize.